Welcome to Deep Soul Healing. I'm so grateful you're here with me today. This episode is the beginning of a series where we're going to strip healing down to its core, the raw, unfiltered truth about what it really means to do deep soul work. And today we begin with psychology, because before we can talk about astrology, before we can reach for spirituality, we have to understand how the mind, our patterns, our wounds, our conditioning, shapes the way we live and love. This isn't the polished version of healing. This is the messy, uncomfortable, gut-wrenching truth. And if you're here, it means on some level, you're ready for it. Psychology tells us something simple, but hard to accept. What we don't heal, we repeat. If we don't face the original wound, it replays itself through different faces, different relationships, different situations. The names change, but the story stays the same. And this is why so many of us feel stuck in cycles, because part of us is still seeking resolution from a wound that was never healed in childhood. Let's talk about three big pieces here: the inner child, the shadow, and the trauma cycle. Your inner child is the emotional blueprint you carry from your earliest years. If you were abandoned, rejected, or shamed, that little version of you is still inside, holding on to that pain. And here's the ugly truth. As adults, we unconsciously seek out people who reflect the same wounds we carry. If your parent withheld love, you may choose partners who feel distant. If your parent criticized you, you might attract bosses or friends who do the same. Why? Because your unconscious mind is trying to solve the original pain by recreating it in the present. It's not sabotage. It's an attempt to finally get it right. But instead, it just deepens the wound. Then there's the shadow. The parts of you were told were too much, not enough, or simply wrong. Maybe you learned that anger was dangerous, so you shoved it down. Maybe you learned that sensitivity was weak, so you hardened. Maybe you learned that needing love made you needy, so you pretended you didn't care. But the shadow doesn't go away. It waits. It seeps out through triggers, jealousy, self-sabotage, and projection. The ugly truth is this: the parts of yourself you refuse to own will own you. Until you face your shadow, it will keep running your life from the dark. And then we have the trauma itself. Trauma isn't just the big, obvious moments. It's the quiet, invisible ones too. Emotional neglect, lack of attunement, and times you needed someone and no one came. When trauma isn't healed, it sets up a cycle. You get triggered, you react from survival mode, you make choices from fear and not freedom. And here's the hardest truth. You can't just think your way out of trauma. Healing requires feeling. You have to let yourself go back to the pain your body and mind have been avoiding. And yes, it's terrifying, but it's also where freedom begins. The ugly truth about psychology healing is this: it's not pretty. It's not affirmations taped to your mirror. It's not bypassing with good vibes only. It's sitting in the raw honesty of saying, yes, I am repeating this cycle. Yes, I keep choosing people who hurt me. Yes, I lash out because I never learned safe anger. Yes, I pretend I'm fine when I'm falling apart inside. And when you admit that, when you own it, you finally reclaim your power. Because what you name, you can heal. So here's my invitation for you today. Sit with one pattern in your life you keep repeating. Maybe it's relationships, maybe it's self-worth, Or maybe it's money or boundaries. Write it down, name it, and then ask yourself, what wound in my childhood is this pattern trying to resolve? Don't judge the answer, just witness it. That's the beginning of psychological healing, facing the wound without turning away. Your wound is not your fault. You didn't choose the pain, but healing it is your responsibility and your power. When you choose to face it, when you choose to break the cycle, you don't just heal yourself. You heal generations before you and after you. This is the psychological truth of deep soul healing. And in our next episode, we'll move into the astrological truth, how your soul's blueprint, written in the stars, guides and shapes the healing you came here to do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being brave enough to face yourself. Until next time, honor your truth and honor your healing.